Welcome everyone. Welcome to the session A to Z about IPM program with IIM Amritsar. So, अच्छा पहला question सब लोग सच्ची जवाब देना. Okay? Is everyone aware what is IPM? Is everyone aware what is? Okay. Thank God. I'm happy. Yes. Chalo, basics here we have in place. Okay. So everyone knows what is an IPM program. Okay. So for other students who have joined and possibly lot skeptical ki pata nahi hai bole kaise, just to give you a little heads up before we start the session, because Chetan sir will talk about IPM and then you would not know the basic of it. Okay, so IPM program is called the Integrated Program in Management, which is a 5-year program which is started by IIM Indore and now being followed by the top IIMs. One of them is IIM Amritsar, which is launching their program, and this year they will be starting with their first cohort, first batch. And all of you who are applying for IPMAT Indore would be the esteemed students who would be able to be in the hallows of IIM Amritsar. It's a very, very prestigious institute, right? So IPM program will allow you 3 years of undergraduate plus 2 years of PGP, and that's how you complete your MBA and you move out of the institute with an MBA degree. There are certain guidelines and certain conditions what you have to follow. ऐसे नहीं कि कुछ भी पढ़ाई करके होगा. There's a certain CGPA you need to keep in mind, okay? And today Chetan sir has taken out time to actually explain to us everything. And let's start. But I want you all to understand and to know whom we have with us today. So it is my distant pleasure to introduce our esteemed speaker for today's webinar, Professor Chetan Chitre. He is the Assistant Professor for Economics at the Indian Institute of Management, Amritsar, that's IIM Amritsar. Okay, Professor Chetan Chitre holds a PhD Economics from IIM Bangalore. Before transitioning into academia, he accumulated nearly a decade of experience in the financial sector, focusing on the financial appraisal of industrial projects and strategic consultancy in the micro, small, and medium enterprises. Okay, which is normally called an MSME sector. If it's it's just the jargon which is used. At IIM Amritsar, Professor Chitre teaches courses in microeconomics, macroeconomics, and development economics. His primary research interest lies in the use of information and communication technology for development. Notably, his doctoral research examined the impact of technology on learning outcomes in rural government schools. His broader research interests encompass various aspects of development, including education, agriculture, and livelihoods, with a particular focus on the interaction between technology and society. In addition to his teaching and research responsibilities, Professor Chitre serves as a chairperson for the Integrated Program in Management, this IPM at IIM Amritsar. Under his leadership, the institute has launched a unique Bachelor of Science in Quantitative Finance and Economics, a program designed for students with strong aptitude for mathematics and a keen interest in finance and economics. This initiative reflects his commitment to bring the gap between quantitative skills and management education. Okay, so thank you so much, Professor Chitre, for joining us today for this particular session. Okay, and to start with the questions here, as we know that IIM Amritsar have launched this particular program, how is the IPM program structured at IIM Amritsar? Let's just understand how it would be structured for IIM Amritsar.
Yes, so thank you, Sanika, firstly for the generous introduction and for giving me this opportunity to interact with your student base. Right? Also, I must tell all the students that are listening that my batchmates, when I graduated, also we used to go to IMS for our CAT preparations, and in those days IPMAT was not there, but CAT preparations we used to rely heavily on IMS. So thank you so much for having me on this show. Right? All right. So coming to your question, firstly, IPM, Integrated Program in Management. I'm sure, as you rightly said, Many people are aware of this, right? There are about 5 IIMs who are already doing the IPM program, and there are a few more that are getting into the fray. However, I must emphasize that the IPM program that we have started or we are launching is slightly different from the offerings of some of the other IIMs. And I want the students and the parents who are here to be well aware of this difference. Right? In a normal IPM program in most IIMs, what you will get is a BBA plus MBA degree. Right? So the bachelor's degree is a BBA degree. In Indore, it is slightly different. It's called, I think, BA in Management Studies or something. But it's essentially a general management studies degree. Right? Our program is slightly different in the following way, that your graduate degree, your undergraduate degree is going to be a BSc in Quantitative Finance and Economics. So your undergraduate degree is going to be a very specialized degree. It's not a general management degree. It's a degree in finance and economics with an emphasis on quantitative tools, because we will talk about it as we go ahead. But as most of you are aware already, that going forward, we are talking a lot about data-driven decision-making, data analytics, and machine learning, and all those kind of fields. So a focus on finance and economics with a quantitative perspective, we thought will be of great help to the student. So that is your undergraduate part. In the postgraduate part, you kind of graduate into the regular MBA program of IIM Amritsar. So the entire syllabus and the whole structure will be similar to any other MBA program offered by any other IIM in the country. So that's broadly the structure. Obviously, I should also say that it's going to be part of NEP, but this is also true for all other IPM programs, that you have an exit option at the end of 30. So if you want to exit after completing your bachelor's, you can exit and pursue your opportunities elsewhere. If you don't want to do that, you are most welcome to continue in the regular MBA. So that's the structure broadly.
That's the structure broadly. Fantastic. And for the Chitre, considering this particular program is very heavy, we have read about with the finance and economics, sections or subjects. What are the subjects which IIM Amritsar is looking forward to cover in the first 3 years of the program?
Right. So the subject or the curriculum structure is as follows: that in the first 2 years, the objective is twofold. One is to give you a general idea about some management subject, like some introduction to marketing, introduction to HR, plus finance and economics, introductory subjects to finance and economics, right? The idea is that even if you are specializing in finance and economics, you're going to work in an organization. So you should know some of the other areas of the organization, how they function. So in the first 2 years, you will do a general understanding of marketing, HR, operations management, and so on. Maybe 1 or 2 subjects each. And more importantly, you will be building strong tools in mathematics, statistics, and computing, right? Because we think that, as the name itself suggests, we are talking about quantitative finance. So these quantitative tools that you need will be developed in the first 2 years. So you will be doing some, I think about 8 courses in statistics and mathematics in the first 2 years. And then in the final year, I'm saying this along with a good amount of finance and economics. So you have the usual micro, macro, econometrics, development economics, finance, corporate finance, investment analysis, and so on and so forth. The last year is going to be completely devoted to finance and economics. Right? So these are the kind of that's a curriculum structure.
Okay. So what exactly would be the specialization opportunity which the students would be able to get? As in, will students have the opportunity to specialize in a specific management domain later on?
So here is the thing, that at the undergraduate level, right? The way the program is structured right now, it's going to be a specialization in finance and economics. That is, very clear from the name itself. Right? At some point later on, we may also consider kind of at the undergraduate level itself opening either a specialization in finance or economics. Right? So right now it is finance and economics. At some stage we may also consider finance or economics. Right? So you can either do a BSc economics or do a BSc finance. Right? But let me also very quickly add that is not the offering right now. It's going to be finance and then so why this? So our understanding is this, that after this undergraduate level, right, there are several opportunities that will open out to this particular student, right? And which are those opportunities? So one very vanilla offering that we have currently is that you graduate into your MBA program. Right? So you end up at the end of 5 years with an MBA degree and a BSc in finance. Right? That is one. But if you have and if you have developed this interest, you can also pursue some of the great MS Finance courses which are available across the world. Some of the best universities today offer these MS Finance courses. So you kind of can get naturally absorbed into that MS Finance course. Or you can pursue your specialization in economics, or you will be doing sufficient amount of, let us say, mathematics and statistics and elementary computing that you can also graduate into a specialized data analytics course. All right. So these are three additional domains which we think students of this program. These domains will open out for students of this program after undergraduation. Right? Of course, these are not domains which currently IIM Amritsar is offering. You will have to kind of exit the program and go elsewhere. What we are offering is a regular, kind of MBA, BSc plus. But if you are asking me about specialization, these are 4 or 5 domains which do open out, which are otherwise we think not, available in, say, your BCom. I mean, anybody can take an admission, but adjustment to an MS Finance course from a BCom or a BBA may become a little more difficult compared to, it will be far more easier from a course like ours.
Okay, I think that's pretty clear. And students who would be, right now listening to you, and once this particular session would be uploaded in the portal, I'm sure a lot of students would get clarity in terms of what exactly they would be getting into when, they enroll for the program. Sure. Now, with this clarity, moving ahead in terms of the admission, a lot of students have, kind of asked, and they know that what exactly the eligibility for the program is. But there's one question which we have got here, sir, where the student is asking, will applied maths count towards the maths requirement?
Yes. So a lot of such queries we also receive from our side. So we are quite liberal on that. So basic maths, applied maths, even if you have statistics as a full subject, right? So what our website says is maths and maths related subjects, right?
Okay.
Right. So if you have statistics, or somewhere it is maybe mathematics for economics, or mathematics and statistics, or mathematics and statistics for commerce, or whatever, right? So maths or math related subject at your 12th is what we are looking at.
Okay. And what would be the eligibility for criteria for, the IPM program for the IIM Amritsar?
So the eligibility criteria is very simple. There is some age cutoff. So 20 years is the age cutoff. You should have given your 12th in either 2024 or should be appearing in 2025, right? And you should have 60% in your 12th, either in your past, or hope to get a 60% in your 10th and 12th, right? Which is this criteria is, I think, relaxed for the SC, ST and NCOBC students. So that you can see on the website. And there is this criteria of mathematics related. So these are 3 simple criteria.
3 simple criteria. Okay. So with 3 simple criteria, if you are considering, please make sure that you apply for the program. One opportunity which definitely, you guys should be, all the students should be grabbing. Now, looking at the admission process, a lot of you have approached and asked your mentors about the admission process. So we would hear directly from Professor Chitre. What is the admission professor? What is the admission process, sir? And is there any, entrance exam or interview? We did discuss about the entrance exam, that it will be IPMAT and all. But what exactly would be? Are we looking at a personal interview later on post the?
Yes, of course. So again, as it is already there on our website, we are going to consider IPMAT conducted by Indore as the entrance test for our program. Right. So the process will be: you will first apply to IPMAT Indore, right? After having completed the application process there and received that registration number at IPMAT Indore, you will come to the IIM Amritsar website and the admission portal, right? Because while you are registering for IIM Amritsar program, we will ask you for your IPMAT registration number, right? IPMAT registration number and either the registration receipt or the application form of IPMAT Indore, right? So these documents and these details will be you will be requiring for completing the application process at IIM Indore website, right? So first apply to IPMAT Indore, then come to IIM Amritsar website and complete our application form. The requirements are again pretty simple. You will have to upload your passing certificate, mark sheets, there are some boards that I'm sure, like CBSE, for example, the passing certificate and mark sheet are common, so you upload the same thing once again, right? Photograph, signature, and so on. So those things are, I think, by now your students should be used to it by now, right? And then you appear for the IPMAT conducted by Indore. We will take the IPMAT scores from IIM Indore for our students. And based on that, we will come out with the shortlist. You should be very clear that the shortlist will be completely based on your IPMAT scores. Right? We do not have any a priori or cutoff announced. Right? We will be deciding the cutoff based on the candidates who apply to us. Right? So it is not that I have received only whatever 40% or 50% or 60%, so I won't be eligible. Nothing of that. There is no cutoff as of now. Right? So based on the candidate pool that we receive, we will come out with a cutoff, and the formula is kind of given on the website. I would encourage your students to go and look at that formula for calculation. Right? Because again it is a quantitative program or program which requires good amount of math. There is a slightly more weightage to the first two sections of the IP. The quantitative section, right? So those together have about 60% of weightage when we calculate our test score, right? That is one. Then, of course, there will be an interview. So we will call you for interviews, and this will be an online interview. And then we will come out with a final selected candidates list.
Fantastic. So I think everybody have got the clarity in terms of what exactly is expected. Okay, so make sure that you are ready. Now, something which out of curiosity I wanted to ask Professor Chitre, that what exactly, how can students from different academic backgrounds, will succeed in the program, coming from science background or humanities or commerce?
Well, I think every student who applies to the program and who has, again, our insistence, at least to begin with, is that you should be a student who is comfortable with mathematics. Right? Right. We don't want any great expertise, right? But you should be someone who should be comfortable with mathematics. Right? There are students who are, and I meet a lot of them who are kind of afraid of mathematics, right? If I may say so. So that then you will be comfortable throughout the program, and then therefore we don't encourage such students to apply. But any other student who thinks they are comfortable with mathematics, right, and can tackle some level of mathematics, should be able to crack our or do good in our program. When we teach, we will obviously assume that you do not have any background. Right? We will teach you from scratch. Please don't come with the notion that you have to have some kind of expertise and be very great at math. will start from scratch, assuming that you know nothing. The mathematics at 12th criteria is just to ensure that only those who are comfortable apply. Right? So if you are good at maths, but you need something more exciting than accounting and commerce and all those subjects. You are good at maths, but you have done 2 years of science, and then you are like, oh, this is not for me. All right. I'm sure these are the students who would be able to, and you're looking at some exciting opportunities in, finance, management, economics domain. Right? I think these are the students who should be, or you're good at maths, and if you're many students who go to humanities and social sciences, right? If you're considering economics as your specialization in your graduation or BA economics kind of a program, you should most certainly consider this option as well. Right. So these are some 2 or 3 kind of students whom I think who will be comfortable in our program.
So if the student is looking at something in economics, and if that's where they are looking at ending up, then this particular program would be the best choice for them, sir.
Yes, and let me also add that economics, finance, but also if you at the end of 3 years, if you think that, well, I have studied that and now I want to, however, switch to general management. Right? That option is also open to you because you straightway graduate into a regular MBA program.
Right.
So, we get a lot of students who have done their, BTech, and then they say, oh, BTech is not for me and I want to go to management. Right? So if you think at the end of 3 years that, oh, finance and economics is not for me, I want to do general management, that option is always open.
Great. So I hope the students right now who have joined in 11th standard or right now considering what to do, okay, I hope this gives you clarity that if you are, I see a lot of students, I connect with a lot of students who have this little, inclination towards doing economics. I think this program is something which would be an app for those students who like economics. Okay. So now when it comes to, we kind of got a clarity about a lot of things, Professor Chitre, but I can see this particular question about careers and placement options. So this is something which we get a lot from our parents, specifically student parents, who keep on asking that IPM students don't have, or do they have the same placement opportunities like the other PGP students at IIM Amritsar? Will they have this opportunity?
Well, absolutely. So in terms of placements, this is what we have in mind, that internship is a very important component of your final placement opportunity. Right? A lot of our PGP or MBA students, they do internships in summer, and then quite often you end up getting a pre-placement offer from the same company, right? Because the company has seen you for 2 months, they are impressed with you, and they give you a pre-placement offer. Right? So this is what we are planning for the IPM student, that at the end of 3rd year, right, those students who decide to continue in the MBA program, right, you will get a 2-month summer internship opportunity at that level. Right? So that will be your first internship. Right? Then when you get into the MBA program, you will be treated like any other MBA students of IIM Amritsar. Right? So which means that you will be eligible for the regular summer placement that happens in the MBA program at the end of first year. Right? So an IPM student will be doing 2 summer internships, one at the end of 3rd year, another one at the end of 4th year, right? And then obviously, because you are our student, you will be sitting for placement with our MBA. You are an MBA student, right? Your degree may be slightly different, it may be an integrated MBA, but you are an MBA student. So with our whatever placement opportunities come for our regular MBA program will also be open for the IPM.
Okay, so the parents can be assured that if you are, normally IIM is preferred, eventually the parents brutally say that because of the app package. So this is something which can be assured that once your child enrolls for an IPM program, he definitely has the opportunity to sit for placement with the PGP students in IIM Amritsar. Okay. Now, you spoke about internships, Professor Chitre, and this is where the challenge comes. Is it something which will be a support provided for the summer internship for the third and the fourth year?
Sorry, come again. I did not.
As in, will IIM Amritsar support students to find the internships in the third and the fourth year, or they're supposed to do it independently?
No, of course. We have a regular placement cell. A lot of the placement activity in all IIMs is student driven. Right? So we have a placement committee which is run and by the students, but at the same time there is a placement office, right? And there is a faculty in charge of placement, right? So all this support structure is used by the students of our regular MBA program to find their internships and final placements, and the same support structure will be available to the IPM students.
Okay, so parents and students can be rest assured that the support definitely will be provided. Now, this is something which is right now being done or started by a lot of universities and institutes, Professor Chitre. Is there any student exchange programs which the parents can expect for the students who would be joining IIM Amritsar's IPM program?
So currently we have an exchange program going on with it's actually not an exchange program, it's a dual degree program with Kedge Business School in France, right? We are also talking to HSC in St. Petersburg, Russia for some kind of an exchange or dual degree program. We are also talking to Case Western University. We recently signed an MOU for some kind of a joint program, right? So these are all opportunities which are currently open to our MBA students, and the same will obviously be available for the IPM. We are trying to explore currently any exchange opportunities at undergraduate level also, right? But these are right now I will not say anything about it because these are still at discussion stage. But some like Kedge Business School, etc., our current MBA students are already doing dual degree as of now, and the same will be open for IPM students.
Fantastic. Now, the most normal questions which we keep on getting is about the research work and the opportunities around the live projects. So, is it that that aspect as well included while the program delivery would be done with IPM, for IPM with IIM Amritsar, Professor Chitre?
Yes. So, in terms of live kind of exposure to industry, right? You already have, as I mentioned, the summer internship at the end of third year, right? So that is kind of a very immersive experience that a student is going to have. In addition to that, in the last semester of the third year, right? These IPM students will be doing a dissertation, which either will be with a faculty or with an industry mentor, right? The format of dissertation will be kind of decided in depending upon the interest of the student and on the basis of discussion with the faculty mentor and the student, right? But there is a full-fledged kind of 3-credit space in the program for a dissertation which will last an entire semester, which is a half-yearly semester. So these are some of the opportunities. In addition to that, we constantly keep having CXOs from the industry talking to our students, and we have conclaves on marketing, operations management, finance, etc., right? So that industry interaction is always there, and the IPM students will be part of all this.
Fantastic. Now, it is said that all work, no play makes Jack a dull boy. So, with the IPM program, what are the extracurricular activities which the students can look forward, or it's going to be all study and only?
Oh, of course not. That's going to be boring for the faculty also, right? So we have a lot of student groups, interest groups. Some of them are academic. So we have a marketing cell which organizes some very interesting, melas, so to say. Right. we have finance and economics cell, we have operations cell. So these are academic. So they ensure that the industry interaction part of it is done, right? In addition to that, we have a cultural committee, a sports committee. We have a 50 cell which is into photography, a media cell which is into creating nice videos about the campus or student activities and posting them on social media, right? So all these are available, and obviously the IPM students will be a part of this whole family of students, right? And I must also say that the limit will be only students' imagination. We are always open to new ideas. We had a idea, somebody come up and say we want to have a laughter set. Why not? We all would want to enjoy laughs once in a while, a good joke. So all kinds of things we are open to, so long, of course, I mean, you have to maintain some basic decorum, but otherwise you just have to suggest some nice activity, take up the lead, take up the initiative. I mean, you are going to be management students, so you should be getting some training on that aspect also, how to organize an event, right? So we recently, in February, we have our annual cultural fest, Aruni, where we had some very well-known stars coming and performing on stage, and the entire event is organized by the student body. So you get a very hands-on kind of management and administration and organization experience if you're a student. And I must also add that our students participate in a lot of sports activities. Inter-IIM, there are inter-IIM sports meets where our students participate. A lot of other activities are there. So you will not have any dearth of excitement on campus. You're on mute.
Yes, I forgot. I was listening to you, so I forgot. So definitely not dearth of excitement at all. But one thing which you will definitely learn, and that's the reason why people want to join IIM, is because the skills what you develop while in the in the whole process of joining these clubs and arranging these melas, is the fact that you learn your people management skills, you learn management skills, you understand how to get out of a situation. So, and IIMs are well known to make sure that it kind of gets into your DNA. Okay, so if you are choosing any IIM for that matter, be it Indore, Rohtak, Jammu, you definitely will come out with those skills which will place you above anyone, and that's what keeps you and stands you apart. And definitely with each and every program, students and parents, what your kids would take, it would have its own color, it would have its own importance and skills what it will provide to your child. So make sure that whatever program you opt for is something which is perfect in terms of the skills which your child wants to develop. Okay, now let's ask few more important questions I have here.
Shanika, if you can give me a minute more, I should also add that not just these extracurricular activities, but even our pedagogy is kind of geared for that, right? So we have a lot of case studies, we have a lot of simulations which we use in our in-class teaching, right? A lot of our assignments or evaluation is group-based assignment, right? So you will be spending sleepless nights discussing the assignment, but you will be spending that with your group of friends, right? So that adds a nice flavor to the whole. I mean, you enjoy doing those assignments because you're doing it with your friends, right? And as you very rightly said, this whole atmosphere and this whole group of like-minded people that you're going to meet is also, you should look at it as one of the key takeaways from your IIM.
So that would be the key takeaway. Now, asking further few questions, Professor Chitre, when it comes to important questions, I'll give you the reason I have actually put this particular question. Normally, when the students get or appear for Indore and they get the call, a lot of questions wants to understand. A lot of questions are around the campus. Okay, are around how exactly the hostel facilities are. So this is something which I'm sure a lot of students and parents want to know, is about what exactly are the facilities available with IIM Amritsar in terms of the campus, in terms of the student hostel.
So we have very recently started moving into our campus. We have a nice 60 plus acre campus which is getting ready, and phase by phase it's getting ready. So one batch of students, MBA students, have already moved in. The other batches will move very soon. But the classes are already held on the campus, all classes, right? Apart from that, we have a fairly good, it's not our campus, but it's kind of a gated community, and most of the accommodation there is taken by IIM Amritsar. So we have a kind of a complex of, I think, I'm not sure of the exact number, but around 100 odd flats, right? So it is an IIM Amritsar community, though it is not essentially a campus, right? And it is fairly secure and well guarded, and students have their own kind of campus life. They have their own evening get-togethers and all those things there. So that is the kind of situation we are in, or rather, that is the kind of facilities we have right now. Right? Yeah.
Fantastic. So, in case if a student is looking at right now, slowly and steadily, phase by phase, IIM Amritsar campus is getting ready. And you would be moving. So definitely there is a good arrangement for the student. Okay, so
Absolutely.
Not to worry on that particular part. Now, asking the question which was related to, you just said that students would have a lot of sleepless nights. Okay, with a normal program, see, for 11th and a 12th standard student, Professor Chitre, moving to a graduation degree, they get a little overwhelmed with the fact of the pressure which would come with it. Okay, now we are talking about a degree which would be with IIM. So what exactly is the pressure or the workload we are looking at with an IIM Amritsar IPM program for the student to sink in that it will not be a cakewalk, or what exactly they need to be prepared for?
I would call it pressure as such, right?
Okay.
But I would at the same time say that you should be prepared to work sincerely and work hard, right? And what do I mean by hard work? So be attentive in your classes, right? You're going to have maybe 4 hours or 5 hours at the most, right, of classroom experience. So be attentive in your classes. Do your assignments and group activities on time. Right? So this is not going to be a program where you kind of relax for the entire term, study a few days before the exam and get through. Right? That's not. We are going to have continuous assignments. So every alternate week there will be some quiz, some test, some submission, some cases that you will have to read for the next class. Right? So all in all, I think you will have to put in outside the classroom maybe a couple of hours of extra work, right? But that 2 hours every day will have to be regular, right? So if you, I think, are doing that, if you're a little disciplined about that, regular 2 hours every day, I think it's going to be you should not have any kind of problems, right? Also, in IIM Amritsar, and I'm sure at several other places, we are very conscious that students do face these adjustments problems, and it's a very what should I say, a very delicate age to be in, the kind of students that we have. So we have a good amount of support system within the IIM, within the institution, right? So obviously the faculty is always there, and you can approach them. We kind of quite often double up as counselors, but in addition to that, we do have on board some kind of a counseling activity in case you need that. There is a lot of, and I'm kind of repeatedly saying that there is going to be a lot of peer group support, which students should, one, feel very free to approach, right, and give support to each other, right? And we encourage that culture through our group assignments and all. We say that, okay, there's going to be evaluation and all that, but at the end of the day, we are here to learn together, right? And that is the spirit with which we conduct our MBA program, and we will also conduct our.
Fantastic. So I think a lot of you who have been asking questions, I have covered almost everything which was asked by you, by a lot of parents. I have kind of covered. So I'm going to pick up questions what you guys have actually put it in the chat box or in the Q&A. So I've got questions here that how many seats are there, and can we choose a specialization in MBA, or is it a general management MBA? We just spoke about this.
Yes. No. So we have for IPM we have 60 seats to start with. Right? That answers the first part of your question.
Correct.
The second part of your question: once you get into the MBA program, we don't offer a specialization as such, but what our students would typically do is you have a huge amount of electives courses in your final year. So I will, as a student, I have the freedom to predominantly take finance-based elective, or predominantly take marketing-related subjects, or predominantly take HR-related subjects. So once you come to the fifth year, or which is the second year of your MBA program, you can design your own MBA, so to say. Right? So you want a combination of marketing and finance. You want a combination of HR and marketing. Right? You are in many ways free to design your own program. Right? So if you think you want to specialize in, say, marketing, you are free to design your second year of MBA apart.
Fantastic. Now there's a lot of flexibility available depending upon what you would want to do. Moshmi is asking that what is the fees for IPM? That is not something Professor Chitre which is actually mentioned on the website.
Yes. So the fee is, we are waiting for some administrative approvals on that side, but at this stage I can assure, and we'll put up the fees structure very soon, but at this stage I can assure you it's going to be comparable to what the other IIMs are charging for this similar program.
Okay, so if we are looking at anywhere between 3 to 5 lakhs, anywhere between 3 to 5 lakhs.
Yeah, I think some IIMs have their fees already on their website, so you can have a look at it, and it's going to be comparable in the same range.
In the same range. Okay, fantastic.
Also, just to kind of be very transparent, the way the fee structure works is that we will be announcing fees for the first 3 years very soon, right? And the fees that you will be paying for the MBA leg of the program, right? So normally it so happens that the MBA 2025 batch, which will be coming in, say, July of 2025, the fees are decided in the month of around April 2020, right? So let's say if you're joining the IPM program in 2025, you will be getting into the MBA program in 2028, right? So the MBA fee, which is applicable to that batch, which will be decided in April 28, is the fee that you will have to pay. Right? I think that is a very common practice that is followed across all IIMs, and our fee structure will be similar.
So once the students reach the 2020, so 25 they would start, the 28 whatever would be the PGP fees, that particular fee structure would ideally be applicable. This is a pattern which is ideally followed by the IIM, and the students who are joining would ideally follow this particular fee structure. Okay. All right. So the students are excited already about the IIM Amritsar, and they are asking by when the new campus would be there.
So as I said, we have already started moving into the new campus. As of now, rather from November onwards, all our classes have been conducted in the new campus. One batch has already moved in, and very soon, as the work progresses, we hope that very soon the entire IIM community will be under civil.
Fantastic. So it answers the question, Moshmi, you just asked following the questions that what would be the food and everything. So it will all be done phased wise. There is right now a space where IIM Amritsar is currently using, which is a gated community, what he actually mentioned. So it is something which will be there. Okay, slowly and steadily phasing, IIM Amritsar would be moving into the campus. Okay.
Also, I must say that in the gated community also, we are managing it as if it was our hostel. So we have a mess there, and we have all facilities there is a small gym there and all those things. So you will, wherever you are, either on or off campus, you will get a proper mess facility and all those things that you would normally expect in any other IIM.
Fantastic. One of the students is asking Professor Chitre that can they expect, or is there any kind of a scholarship assistance which would be available for the students?
We are working that out, and certainly some scheme will be in place very soon. We already have something for the MBA students, and the same when the IPM students get there, the same will be open for IPM students also. We are working out something separate for the undergrad leg of the program as well.
Okay. There's one question where the student is asking, does the subject taught in undergraduate degree aligns to any professional certification courses? For example, a CFA?
So certainly. So anybody who is pursuing, say, a degree like CFA or risk analysis, or any degree, any of those certifications in finance, right? The courses would help you very much in that.
Okay.
So very very much. Many of you would be interested in pursuing certifications in actuarial science.
Right.
So the kind of maths that we do, or the kind of finance that we do, will I'm sure help you a lot in pursuing those kind of certifications.
Okay. So I hope that answers the question for you. Out of curiosity, while I was just going through the question, I just realized, Professor Chitre, I call myself mathematically challenged. Okay, I am the person who kind of relies on calculator completely. So what are the chances, or how can a student which is not too great with mathematics but able to score a 60, do you think have a chance of surviving through the IPM program for IIM Amritsar?
I would say, as I said, you should be comfortable with mathematics, in the sense that you may not be. So there is a difference between being quick with numbers and understanding the concepts of mathematics. Right? There are many people who are not very good at multiplying 2-3 digits numbers, but and I'm one of them. But you have a very good understanding of what addition means or what multiplication means. You may take a slightly longer time, or you may need a calculator, but you know what is happening in the background. Right? Similar, I mean, these are basic concepts, but if you are someone who understands what, if I'm talking about, say, calculus, you understand what a derivative is. Right? I think you are good to go. You should be comfortable. You should not be intimidated with the whole subject. Right? As I said, we will start our teaching assuming that you are fresher in the subject, but at the same time, we are a little cautious, because we don't want a student to come here and then say, "Oh, where have I landed?" Right? This is not good. So it's also a responsibility on our side, right? So we are being a little cautious. So if you're comfortable with mathematics, if you think you can, you may not be a high scorer, that is fine. Right? But if you enjoy the subject, if you are not intimidated by this, and you should be fine in the course.
Fantastic. So these are the questions. I'm getting other questions as well, but I think we already answered the questions. I'll quickly kind of just summarize what you guys are asking. Is IPM BBA available? Dhairya, IPM is a program. Okay, IPM BBA, there are 2 different degrees. Okay, IPM is an integrated program in management. BBA is a Bachelor of Business Administration. IIM Amritsar will offer you IPM, which is a 5-year program. At the start, I did mention. Okay. Can we opt for hostel? Can we opt out for hostel, mess, and all that?
No. It is a full day program, and you will have to be a part of this community. That is, how all IIMs function. Because as I said, a lot of your time, a lot of learning out of IIMs is going to be your friends, and the sleepless nights you spend with your friends. And by sleepless nights, I don't necessarily mean doing assignments, right? You will be, enjoying some cultural show or organizing some fun program and all. So that kind of atmosphere is important for the IIM learning, and therefore we insist, and all IIMs insist, that you have to be on campus or on the hostel.
So I hope that answers the question. Now, there's one student who was asking in the chat box whether we need to write again CAT in IPM program for PG. So she's asking, after 3 years, do they again have to appear for CAT?
No, that is the whole idea of the IPM program, right? That after you graduate from your third year, you straight away get into the MBA program.
So that's the beauty of the IPM program, and I did mention to you guys at the start of it. But as Professor Chitre just told me at the start of the webinar, when I asked, that I've written some questions which was, which actually sounded a little stupid, but he just told me that, Tanika, there is no question which is stupid. Okay, so absolutely, IPM program offers you that, that advantage of getting into an IIM without writing the CAT. Okay, however, there is an IPMAT Indore, okay, which is not to that level, but yes, it's for 12th standard student. Nani to yaad aayi jati hai prepare karte karte. So prepare well. I hope I've answered all the questions. Make sure you are applying for the IPMAT Indore program. In case if you have any questions, you can write it to me. I'm just dropping my email address here. You can speak to your mentor and the questions would come to me. And I will make sure that if there is something which is not available, we are not able to find the answer, Professor Chitre, I would definitely trouble you for,
Oh, sure. I would, if you permit, I would also want to give a mail which...
Sure, please, sir. Go ahead. Please go ahead. Yes.
I'll type it in the...
chat box. Yes, sir.
Chat box.
Okay, so when it comes to the recorded meeting is concerned, this particular session latest by Monday would be available on the portal, the My IMS portal. So all of you who have missed, or I'm sure a lot of students right now are in the lectures, checking from there, but kind of not really able to look at the whole session, I would make sure it's available for you all to see till the end. And in case if you have questions, make sure you're approaching any of your mentors or me, and I will make sure the answers are available. Okay?
Yeah. So I put my the IPM office mail ID.
Yes.
So any query you have on the IPM program, please feel free to write to us, and we will try and answer as soon as possible. All right. Usually our response, we resolve issues within 24 hours. So we'll try and do that. So I think, yeah. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much again for taking out time and doing this for us. It was a pleasure, absolutely pleasure talking to you. Looking forward possibly, next year doing something like this with you, and possibly the first batch of the IPM Amritsar. I normally host students as well, so I'm looking forward for that. And thank you everyone for joining in, and I will see you guys very soon. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Taranveer, very much minority certification is available. If you go on the website, the IIM Amritsar website does speak about the minority certification. So everything is there. All the IIMs accept it. Okay, so there will be, minority, section-wise, all the details are available. So you can always follow that. All right. I hope the session was helpful. Thank you so much for being a part of it. And I will see you guys soon. Just a reminder for students interested in economics, 25th of March, we would be having a campus insider where we would have an alumni of NMIMS Mumbai campus working with Ernst & Young, completed her BSc Economics with NMIMS Mumbai campus, and the 2 second-year students answering all your questions. So in case if you will be interested, make sure that you are joining the session. It will be again 7 p.m. So just make sure that you are there and, just listening to them to make sure that you take the right decision. If you are interested in registering for the event, you guys would be able to get the details here. All right. So thank you so much. You all have a lovely day. Study well. Where to register for it? Agam, I've just put it in the chat box. Campus Insider for NMIMS BSc Economics. Alumni working with Ernst & Young, and 2 current students who are studying right now in second year and almost completing it. Okay, so I will see you on the 25th of March at 7 p.m. Friends ko batao, or make sure you all are there. Okay, bye all of you. Study well and take care. Bye bye.